going to do one example of how to do one of the options for the rubric for the portfolio. I'm going to choose here. Choose 3 living things and list their classification according to the domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, and genus and species classification. So I'll open up the folder that I have shared. Well, I haven't shared it with myself, it's mine, but that you would have shared with me, you'd open up that one. Inside of there, I'll do just a document. In this document, I'm going to say, I'm going to call it something that I can, I don't know, see what I want, see what I'm talking about later. Then I'm going to come back to the rubric, say choose 3 living things and list their classification. So this seems like it has a fairly straightforward set of steps to do. So I'm going to try to think of 3 things that are alive. So there's one that we've looked at in class before, Euglena. Maybe I'll look for Euglena and also their taxonomy. I'm going to go through the list of search results. I just did a regular Google search. I didn't do Google Scholar search, just a regular Google search. I'm going to open up the Encyclopedia Britannica. I'll open up Wikipedia. I'll take another look here. Algae base. That seems interesting. I'll take a look at it. And I'm going to take a look at the 3 things that I've opened up. The Encyclopedia Britannica has some information about this really cool animal which can do photosynthesis. So here it says the taxonomy is somewhat contentious. So sometimes they call it an animal, so zoa is definitely, we're talking about animal. And here sometimes that's in with algae. So we're going to take a look to see which of those 2 are going to be quoted in this article. They don't quote any, but they did give us some useful information, which is that sometimes it is considered a plant and sometimes it is considered an animal. Here on Wikipedia, I'm looking at one particular species, Euglena gracilis. It says it has these chloroplasts, it can do photosynthesis, it can also do phagocytosis, which is great, that's the one I'm thinking of. And for the Wikipedia articles, we have our different levels of classification. This says it's a eukaryote, it's in the Euglenozoa, but that's division. Under kingdom, we don't have anything listed. Maybe there isn't something under kingdom. So I have division, which I can't use, but class I can use, order, family, genus, and species. I can use all of those. I'm going to take a look here, whatever this. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. I know I didn't click the box. I'll try again. I agree to whatever I didn't read. Okay. So here, this is looking at Euglena, but this is from 1902. So in this one from 1902, I have the classification listed off to the side here. In 1902, they had empires, which sounds way cooler than domains, but right now we're in the domain system. They did have kingdoms, phylum, infraphylum, class, subclass, order, family, and genus, and eventually species. The species will be splendens. Let's see, the family is Euglenidae, the order is Euglenidae, the class is Euglenophyceae, and let's see if that agrees here. No, they are not the same. So if I look at the classification of this, it looks like it's using references number 1 and 2. And for references number 1 and 2, one of these did come from AlgaeBase. That's interesting. And another one came from Revised Classification of Eukaryotes in 2012. That seems like it's much more modern than 1902. So I'm going to take this information from the Wikipedia page. I'm going to put it into this document. I'll just paste it in there. I'm going to say that my first organism is Euglena, and this one happens to be the species Gracilis. The source for this information is going to be taken from this Wikipedia page. So underneath that I pasted in there, I'll put in the source, and not only will I put in the source, I will say that that's what I'm doing. For this project, I'm going to go back to the rubric here. I'm going to look at the rubric criteria. And so say that this one was the one that I was choosing. My choice number 1 was pick these 3 organisms. I am supposed to choose things. So I chose a classification table from Wikipedia. I think that does relate to what I was asked. This one, I'm looking for my sources, including title and author. The title and author are not so easy to say on a Wikipedia page. The title of the Wikipedia page is just the name of the species. The author is also hard to say because Wikipedia is edited by a whole bunch of different people. Those things, because they're hard to say, I'm going to leave them blank. I'm going to come back to the rubric, see what else I need. For the reflection and critique, all reflections do correctly explain the reasons for choosing the item. So here, I'll type in maybe why I chose this. So I'm saying I chose this one in particular because there are domains listed in the Wikipedia page and there were not in the other one. And I'm saying that I also chose it because it classified Euglena as an animal, not a plant or an algae. So those are the reasons that I wanted to choose this one. It fit with what I wanted to say, that this thing was an animal. It had all the information that I needed. I'm going to come back to the rubric to see if there's anything else I need to do. Do include goals for continued learning. So here, maybe I'll just type goals. So my goal for the future learning here might be arguments for and against come on, typing. I want to know the arguments for and against classification of Euglena as an animal. I know that it moves around and eats. I know that it also does photosynthesis. But maybe what I want to know is, what are the arguments? So most things now would call it an animal, but not everything. So what are the people who still say it should be classified as a plant, basing their argument on? Come back to the rubric to see what else I need here. Multimedia, in this case, I did not use any pictures. I did not use any videos. I just used a piece of an article that was directly related to this idea, this assignment. So here I have a document. It's called something that is easy to understand. In that document, I'm saying what my first thing is. I'm putting in the answer to what I was asked. I'm saying where I found that information. I'm saying why I chose that information. I'm saying what I want to know in the future. And if I did this for 2 more, so if I did this for second organism and the third, so if I picked 2 more things that were alive and I provided their classifications, I would do the exact same things for those. I would read through some different sources, figure out what I thought was appropriate, use that, cite the source, so the full URL of the source. I would say why I chose that particular one, and I would say what I wanted to know more about that. So I would have to do this for 2 more organisms, and once I did that, then if I come back up to the beginning here, I would have chosen 3 living things and listed their classification and did everything that the rubric asked of me. So that is one example of how one of these could be done. I'll do more examples in the future.